Hi, welcome to the Mohua Show. My name is Mohua Chinappa and I am an author, entrepreneur, and ex-housewife. This podcast is about everything from business to technology to arts to lifestyle, but done and spoken ईमानदारी से. Hi, this episode is sponsored by Our Tribe. Our Tribe is all set to host Blossom 2022 on the 8th and 9th of July at the Bangalore International Center. Our tribe will be showcasing the creative work of designers from Bangalore and Pondicherry. And in today's episode, we have three of the most incredible designers who will share with us their journey and the beautiful designs that you will get to see at Blossom 2022. So, Bangaloreans, I don't think you should miss this out. Our tribe does curated events where artists and designers get together to showcase their designs and also interact with the buyers. It's a very intimate space, and this time we have Blossom 2022 with hibiscus heroes Lal Design Studio and jewelry designer Sapna Singhania. All of them showcasing a very special love collection for Bangalore. You can't miss this. In this episode, we have Bidisha Samantaray. She's the founder of Lal Design Studio, and Bidisha believes in conducting sustainable business and works with Indian artisans to innovate, experiment, and explore ways to utilize age old techniques in formulating modern aesthetics. Now, I'm sure all of you are getting very, very excited. Bidisha started Lal in 2009 with her mother and her partner, Bidisha Samantaray. So, welcome to the Mohua Show, Bidisha. First and foremost, just tell me, how excited are you to be here in Bangalore for Blossom 2022?
Hi, Moa. I am so excited to be there. I mean, I have already worked with the team before and I've only had the best experience. So I'm looking forward to doing that again.
Now you have to tell me, what is it that's new for people, because you're going to a really awesome venue, and what is it that you're bringing in new now for this collection?
Basically, I'll tell you a little bit about my brand. We are doing a lot of block printing right now. And the whole idea about choosing this artisana and the fact that linking it to my town Pondicherry is because of we are doing this color palettes that is very Pondicherry, lots of pastel colors and very easy breezy fabrics, easy to dry, easy to wear, great for monsoons, great for summer, all because it's a very light, nice fabric that we're using. And in terms of silhouettes, what I'm bringing is a lot of cool back sleeve shirts, free size clothing such as kimonos, parkas, some nice kaftans, wide leg pants. So, really very airy, cool, effortless clothes.
It's so interesting to hear the word effortless clothing. The older one grows, I think, the more effortless I want to be in the way I dress up. And it's amazing when you have young designers like you who's bringing in, because I just saw your collection and I was just like drooling because they're so beautiful. I see a certain amount of, there's some checks that I saw in red and some blue, and it has this little bit of a gamcha mixed with, sustainable color palette that you said a little different, but there was a little bit of the gamcha look. Do you think there's a little bit of your Bengal sensibility that's mixed with Pondicherry that shows in your clothing?
Yes, probably the Bengali out inside me always comes out. um, basically, yes. So the Gamcha print that you're talking about is probably a mixed culture of many things that even I'm like a mixed person. So I'm half Bengali, half Oriya, born in Orissa, brought up in Pondicherry. So I think all that kind of always somehow comes through in my creations. So that Gamcha print that you're talking about in particular is again block printed, and it's block printed with three different kind of blocks to come to that look of a gamcha, or if you call it even a picnic table kind of a setup, like those typical when you go out in a park and have a picnic and you lay out this checkered red and white rug and you have your little basket on it. So it has all that little vibe. But yes, it all comes down to several things that I have lived in my life. Yes.
I would like you to tell me a little about the color palette that you're talking about. What would monsoon be for you? For me, it's like the dark skies, it's gray and it's blue. So, what is the color palette this time for your collection?
So the color palette from my collection is from through my window, since it's monsoons, and since it's monsoons and you don't really step out, you just sometimes just look through your window and enjoy the scenery. So the color palette is all the lovely shades of like the colonial buildings that Pondicherry has. So it's a lot of pastel peach, grays that also remind you of the monsoon skies, and then I have some beige. And the red and black are rather radical. I wouldn't, put it in in my color palette, but it is just something that has to always come with any collection that I make. I create a color palette and there's always a red and black.
Wonderful. What made you promote sustainable fashion? Of course, everybody think that every designer is really talking a lot about it, but obviously you're walking the talk by being in a place like Pondicherry and Oroville being so close, where people really do the slow life, right? And sustainable fashion is slow fashion. What prompted you to take this up? Was it a personal choice or was it because everybody was doing this?
Well, I would say I grew up in it. So when I was a little girl, I remember that my mother would not buy clothes for us. She would make clothes for us, and she would always make it with, uh, handloom fabrics from wherever we were. So she grew up a lot in Ahmedabad. So she used to bring back a lot of block printed fabric for us and make little outfits. She would make her clothes, and then with the pieces that were left over, she would make clothes for us. And it was always like that. So I pretty much grew up in that environment. Same thing with my grandfather. He would say, "Don't buy gifts and all that. Just why don't we make something? Come, we'll sit and we'll make something." So it was always about being crafty, about growing up, doing things by yourself, about um, making that extra effort to come to a product. Like, I'm calling it a product, but it's like the outcome. So if you want a birthday dress, let's not go to a shop and buy it. Let's make it for you. So that has always been in my DNA. And as I finished my studies in NIFT and everything, I just felt like, when I went to lift, I was like, oh, I want to do fashion and everything, because as I grew up, I became a teenager. It was all about trend and all. And when I got to NIFT, and when I finished, by the time I was finishing NIFT, I realized that, okay, I might have come here for the whole, the glitz and glamour of fashion, but my calling has always been handmade, handcraft, handloom. So I wanted to go back to it. I did work in the whole fashion industry in a big city for a little bit. It quickly wore me out, and then I said, okay, I need to find myself and do something what sticks to me, and this was what happened. uh, I decided to start Lal and promote all things handmade. So, and I didn't want to do it by myself. So I opened a multi-designer store in Pondicherry where I had my product as well as various other designers that followed the same desire, they had the same drive basically. And quickly, because of so many things changing in the world, I felt like doing more and more and engaged into more and more crafts and artisana. And that's what I would say is my contribution to a more sustainable lifestyle and business. So, sustainable is a very big umbrella, and this is my small place in it, where I would like to believe that everything I do is nurturing a certain craft in our country, is nurturing some livelihood, is nurturing a kind of a dynamic between the artisans and a designer perspective. And as we grow together, there's some kind of a growth that allows not only one person, not one-sided growth, but it is multiple, till the client, the customer that picks up the product. I always tell them to choose wisely. They don't have to buy a lot. They just have to buy what they need or the right things, and take care of it once they have it, so that they can make it last long. So that is my perspective and my contribution to a more sustainable lifestyle.
Fantastic. It was so awesome talking to you, Vidisha. Just before we end, I just want you to tell me what's fashion for you and three tips to people who would be listening to us. What should they do to look fashionable, feel fashionable, and be fashionable?
Fashion to me is being comfortable with yourself and with what you're wearing. Fashion to me is personal style. It's not so much following a trend. The third tip is you will feel good if you're buying something that has a bit of soul, so that you will vibe with it, you will have a backstory to it, you will wear it with a lot of pride, and eventually that's going to look good and that's going to look fashionable for sure.
Oh, God, that was fantastic. Thank you so much, Vidisha, for being here with us today. And we look forward, and I'm sure all of Bangalore would be looking forward to this entire eclectic collection that you're going to come for Blossom Edit 2022. Thank you so much for being on today's episode.
Lovely. Thank you so much for having me. It was a treat.
Thank you. Welcome, Soumya. So, first, let me just begin with asking you how much are you looking forward to be part of Blossom 2022 and bringing all your designs to Bangalore?
Hi, it's so wonderful to be on this platform. And yes, very, very excited because, Pondicherry and Oroville, we have such a beautiful collective of artists, designers, innovators. I think it's such a nice introduction into the other cities of India to come as a collective to support each other. And Blossom has created such a nice platform for us. So I'm really excited. I'm really looking forward.
So, Soumya, your brand is called Hibiscus Heroes, and hibiscus happens to be a very, very special flower for me because, from the time I grew up, I've seen my mother offer the red hibiscus to Goddess Kali. So, what was the reason that you called your brand Hibiscus Heroes? That would be really interesting to know.
Yes, it's a very special story, dear to me. So Oroville is an international city in the outskirts of Pondicherry, and the city symbol is the hibiscus. The symbol of the city is this kind of a orange red earth hibiscus. I have been in love with Oroville, and it's been my home for the last 20 years. When I came back from Europe to India, I wanted to start a brand. But most importantly, I wanted it to be a tribute to the heroes of the city of the hibiscus. Because Oroville is a very interesting project, and the people who are the pioneers in realizing this dream, it's very, very overwhelmingly inspiring, powerful. So I wanted to remind myself that what I do is remains a tribute to the city and the heroes of my city.
How amazing is that? So, you draw your inspiration from Oroville, and what would that inspiration be?
To be as authentic, to be as real, and to be as kind and compassionate towards everything that you do, right? From the part that you decide to design a collection, the way you execute it, the resources you use, the people you have around you, the entire storytelling. I make a plant based clothing brand. I mean, the hibiscus aspect is also very much close to me, also because I color my clothes with flowers. So it's colors from flowers. Because I use only plant ingredients and especially the ingredients that grow wild in South India. For me, the whole story has to be clean, sustainable, respectful, dignified for people and planet. And that's my biggest inspiration, which is the core. And then, of course, there's the creative inspirations. And Oroville Pondicherry has such an eclectic mix of nationalities, people, lifestyles that always, an art, architecture, that it feeds us. That's just a great atmosphere to be in.
Phenomenal. So, Soumya, just tell me, is it difficult to maintain a balance, while keeping an eye on latest trends, and also working on your niche, which is, sustainable fashion is definitely for the well informed. And do you find it difficult at times?
Well, so I am very much aware as a designer what people are wearing, what the styling is, what's out there, but I'm not a slave to it because I believe in creating classic styles. I believe in creating styles that kind of embrace all kinds of body types, all kinds of women. So I don't have this limitation of an age group or a body type or anything like that. I design clothes that I believe are classic, comfortable, but I'm also, I mean, on a commercial side, I do look around and I'm not naive to the fact that certain things are more popular than the other, but our collection is not defined by it. Maybe we adapt a few things to it. And also, I don't work on seasonal collections in a classical sense. What we do is we started, it's a, our brand is very new. So we launched in 2020. We're still a startup. What we do is we work on collection one, two, three, four, and those collections um, are intertwined. So if you bought something from me from collection one, you should be able to wear it with collection four. So there's an organic development of style. And I do have clients who buy it that way and who wear it. So the longevity of the style for me is very, very important. And I worked in Europe for 15 years for big fashion labels. For me, I also find that whole narrative of what's in and what's out very, very, yeah, I find it a bit old, old school. I think it's much more beautiful to create a story that you believe in and you'll find the people who appreciate it.
Wonderful, Soumya. So, Soumya, you know what? Just before we end, I just needed to understand a little bit more, and also for our listeners, who may not be able to attend the Bangalore Blossom Edit. What is the process? Like you said, that you take flowers and then you press it between your fabrics, and then the entire pattern comes in. So, what is the process? If you could just quickly share a little bit, and which are the flowers that remain your favorite when you use, in your designs?
Yes, so we do two things. The first thing, which is a core part of our work, is we extract colors from flowers, leaves, roots, and seeds. And this is a very ancient technique, especially the south of India, Andhra Pradesh, Tamil Nadu, Kerala. They have had this for centuries. In between, it was a little bit lost in translation, but we still have a few authentic families who practice it. So this is literally taking flowers and creating a pulp out of them. And then there is in between 10 processes, different stages. Sometimes they're fermented with castor oil, sometimes they're mixed with lime. So there's a whole ingredient base where that flower becomes a condensed kind of a substance, a jelly substance, which are later on made into little bricks. And those bricks become pigments from which we take and we color it, we steam it. So that gives you the solid colors. The other thing, what we do is we create patterns with ecoprint. And ecoprint is a technique where we use certain plants and flowers, which we know have a certain amount of pigments. And we kind of pre treat the fabric to make it ready. And then we lay out all the leaves and flowers, just like a painter plans the canvas. Then roll it, steam it, and after a few hours or few days in some cases, when you undo it and you pull out the leaves, you get the pigment and the texture of the leaves imprinted into the plants. So this is called eco printing. But what I also believe in and what I love doing is we use biotech with craft. So we use a lot of fabrics that are not just, I mean, when we use cotton, we try our best to use handloom organic cotton, but there are moments where cotton is also a very thirsty crop. We can't have too much of cotton. It's not in the balance of nature that we all only wear cotton. Like we all cannot just eat one vegetable. So for that, I look into biotech where we extract fibers from eucalyptus wood, pine wood. Now we are researching with banana fiber. So for me, this is very exciting. We bring these fibers and then we use ancient techniques of dyeing them. And this makes the product extremely plant based from yarn to the end process. And it's also very innovative, modern, and urban, in terms of texture and feel and the look.
We're really an exciting time, Soumya. I mean, I don't think I would have had this conversation, just a few years back. And I think this just going back to your roots is is so amazing because you're working with your hands, your love, your intellect, your design, and your creativity in putting the entire piece together. So, congratulations. And so, I just want for our listeners to know a little bit about you. Soumya has a love for sustainable fashion and craftsmanship. She founded Hibiscus Heroes in 2020, just like us. She seeks inspiration from Mother Earth, and her brand, as she says, has nature as a stakeholder. And that's such an amazing line. She has spent over 15 years working for big fashion brands in Europe, but she decided to return to India to start out with her own venture. So, congratulations, Soumya, and we're really looking forward to seeing your designs at the Blossom Edit by Our Tribe. Thanks again.
Thank you so much. I look forward.
Look forward. Thank you. So, up next, we have the beautiful connoisseur and designer Sapna Singhania. Sapna has her own line of jewelry. Sapna draws inspiration from her creative design, from the intricate artistry of Asian culture, medieval architecture from across the world. Sapna, through her jewelry design, breaks away from the traditional, brings in original, innovative, and very refreshing statement pieces, which of course defines the new trend. So, welcome to the Mohua Show, Sapna. Hi, Sapna.
Hi, hi.
Tell me a little bit about the collection that you'll be showcasing at Blossom 2022. What are the new trends that we're going to see? So rarely people talk about jewelry trends. We invariably follow the same, old grandma, our parents' jewelry that's been passed on to us. And we very rarely see jewelry designers talking about trends. So I'd love to know that a little bit from you.
Our jewelry is the beauty of our jewelry is that it is not the commercial traditional look. We come up with designs where even the youngsters, the teenagers, the adults, it's just basically it's conducive for every age. I feel every generation because I hear my clients telling me that we passed it down to our children and they passed it down to their grandchildren, and it just feels good to know that um, it's 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 very wearable. It's great to travel with. It's like a destination wear. So you can, so many weddings happen all over India and abroad. And now with the whole, custom duty and everything, people are always nervous about carrying like their heavy jewelry. So I feel our jewelry is very conducive for destination weddings and functions. And it's so lightweight. People enjoy wearing it. They can dance in it for hours.
You were talking about lightweight jewelry and how it's convenient, for people to carry it with them when they go out. So Indian jewelry is so amazing that, everybody can afford. So some people may want heavy, some people may want light pieces. And it's amazing to know that you're actually doing these also for, the modern times today where jewelry does take in inspiration from many things around. Now, I think, Sapna, having been in this business for so long, what is the kind of tips that you'd like to give, people who would like to come in and see your collection? How should they accessorize their jewelry?
So the way we always try and advise people to accessorize our jewelry is that I feel in the olden days it was always like, oh, you have to have a matching necklace with a matching earring and a matching bracelet, and everything had to be kind of a set. And what we like to advise our clients is that if you're buying like a one lovely earring, like if you're wearing like a nice piece of big earring, you don't necessarily need to, put in a necklace with it, because we just want to focus on that earring and we don't want to take away from that beauty. So we always like our clients to kind of not have like the matching set per se, and we're like, one, wear a nice bracelet with a matching earring, and that would just be it. So for us it's like less, sometimes less is more, and it also looks classy, it also looks beautiful, and it looks enough, because our pieces are so beautifully carved and intricate that we don't like to take away one piece from the other piece. So that's like our tip and advice to our clients, and not like wear everything at one time.
Like a Christmas tree, you mean?
Yes.
So, Sapna, you know what? I want you to tell a few things for Blossom Edit and our tribe, and What's been your experience like, and how excited are you to be in Bangalore?
We've had amazing experiences in Bangalore. So we've been coming to Bangalore for the past 8 years. This is our first time with Blossom. So we're really looking forward, because every time we come to Bangalore, there's always some surprise, a surprise at a new venue. And we're really, really excited because we don't know what is in store, but we know that it's always going to be good because of our past experiences. And the people in Bangalore are lovely. I love the fact that they're so simple and down to earth, but yet classy and have taste. And they always have appreciated our jewelry. So we're really excited to showcase our new collection to them at Blossom. And we really look forward. And we are arriving tomorrow. And we can't wait to set up and meet all the Bangaloreans.
So, Sapna, you know what? I need to hear from you. What's your favorite stone? Like, I love the turquoise. And I think, you know what? Turquoise for me, it just lights up my whole face. I believe that for myself. What's yours?
Oh, lovely. My favorite stone is, I think, blue sapphires.
I love that too.
In India, blue sapphires is always, a question mark, because they're like, oh, it has to suit you. And, some people consider it bad luck. And I was told that when I got married, that I can't wear blue sapphires, but I I couldn't resist from doing that. So I've been wearing blue sapphires all along, and I just think it's a beautiful color, like that deep blue color, because it just has so much depth in it. And that's my favorite stone.
Oh, yeah. I love the blue sapphire too. And I have a little bit of a hippie soul. So, of course, I love the turquoise also. I think it's gorgeous when, you put it all together. And we really look forward to Sapna Singhania and her collection at the Blossom Edit, curated by our tribe. And can't wait to see what she has to unveil new for this show. Thank you so much, Sapna. And like I always say, that jewelry makers and jewelry wearers, they never need to worry about how much weight they put on and how much weight they lose, because jewelry fits everyone. It's for all of us. And yes, I think today jewelry is really becoming, so versatile that men and women both are wearing jewelry. I feel a little competitive there, but it is amazing to
Yes.
see this whole collection of unisex jewelry. And, I love men with good hands, and when they wear this beautiful, ring on their finger, and I think it looks amazing. And, some more stuff looks really, really cool. And on women, of course, I wear jewelry on the worst of my days because it just cheers me up. So I can't wait to see your collection. And thank you, Sapna Singhania, for being on today's podcast. We look forward to meeting you in person. Thank you.
Thank you so much. Thank you so much.
To you, our dearest listeners, you can find us on your favorite streaming services, Spotify, Amazon Music, Apple Podcast, and of course on all other major streaming services. With loads of love, we are the Mohua Show, where we talk ईमानदारी से.